And welcome back to EDH Deck Building. I am your host, Demo, and this is another Commander Quick Brew, and I'm just going to start cranking these out. I think I'm probably even just going to do one Commander at a time here so I can really get these out. Basically, first impressions of these new legendary creatures and sort of laying the groundwork of what we can do to build a deck around them. So I'm talking about today Yusri, Fortune's Flame. 1, a blue and a red legendary creature, Ifrit, flying 2/3. When Yusri, Fortune's Flame attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, Yusri deals 2 damage to you. If you won 5 flips this way, you may cast spells from your hand this turn without paying their mana cost. So first things first, he is cheap, which is good. I like that. I like a commander that is, you can get out right away and start going to work. He has an attack trigger, so we're going to want haste, right? I just talked about Ashling's Prerogative, and that could go in this deck because you could play it the turn before you play your commander, name odd, swing with it right away. It has flying, which is great. So you probably, just like with a Zur deck, right? The attacking part with a Zur deck is never an issue because he has flying and there's always going to be at least one guy that doesn't have any flying blockers. So I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. I think you're probably going to be able to use this ability every single turn. So obviously, as soon as we see coin flipping, we need Krark's Thumb. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. Krark's Thumb goes in this deck. You're probably going to want to put a couple of cards in there to go get it if you can. Fabricate or Tribute Mage. You know, the way I would go with this is I would just give my commander lifelink, right? If you give your commander lifelink, then there's no downside to this ability, right? Because every time you lose a flip, your commander, Yusri, deals 2 damage to you. So if Yusri has lifelink, that damage then gains life. So basically it cancels out the downside. So you can just pick 5 every single time, right? Every single time you attack, you pick 5, you flip 5 times, and 0 downside, only upside. So that's what I would do. Basilisk Collar, Shadow Spear, those are great ways, cheap ways to give your commander lifelink. There's not a ton of ways in Izzet, obviously. Equipment is the way to go. Locks It on Warhammer is another one. Witch's Clinic, you know, the new one from C21 that probably nobody was talking about, is a land that can give your commander lifelink. It's a little mana intensive. I don't know if I would go with that route, but I just think once you give your commander lifelink, there's 0 downside. You pick 5 every time, you flip those coins, you draw a bunch of cards, and possibly even get that last ability. And the last ability, I wouldn't build around that, okay? I wouldn't go, hey, I'm going to pack my deck full of really expensive spells so that maybe I can cast them for free. No, I wouldn't do that. The chances that you win 5 flips in a row is rare, so you don't want to be stuck with a bunch of really expensive stuff in your hand that you can't cast. I would just build your deck normally with Izzet spells like you normally would. Okay, maybe you're going to throw an Expropriate in your deck anyway, so it would be good if you could cast it for free, but if you can't, you just cast it the normal way, right? Also, because you're going to be drawing lots of extra cards every turn, Chasm Skulker, Orniophage, right? There's lots of cards like this that benefit you from drawing. Nadir Kraken, maybe you can put some of the Niv Mizzets in this deck as well because you could be drawing 3 or 4 cards every single turn. Ironcrag Pyromancer is another great one where you're getting that trigger from drawing a second card every turn. I would imagine if you're flipping 5 coins, you're probably going to get at least 1 extra draw. So any of those I draw a second card each turn effects are going to be really good in this deck as well. And then why not throw Okun and Zender-Split in this deck? Zender-Split just draws you a card every time you win a flip. You know, whatever the reason is you're winning that flip doesn't matter. Every time you win a flip, you draw a card. And Okun, every time you win a flip, you double his power and toughness until end of turn. So they're definitely going to go in the deck. And then, of course, you got to have Chance Encounter, right? Just like in an Okun and Zender-Split deck, Chance Encounter can just win you the game, and you are flipping coins like crazy. You know, if you're flipping 5 coins every single turn, unless you're incredibly unlucky, that Chance Encounter is going to win you the game pretty quick. Whenever you win a coin flip, put a luck counter on Chance Encounter, right? At the beginning of your upkeep, if Chance Encounter has 10 or more luck counters on it, you win the game. That shouldn't take too long, right? If you're flipping 5 coins every single turn. So that's definitely got to go in the deck. That's basically it. You know, I don't love coin flipping. If I was to play a coin flipping commander, this would be it. Because like I said, you basically can just get rid of the downside by giving your commander lifelink. And then you just sit there and draw, you know, maybe 1, 2, 3 extra cards every single turn. That seems pretty fantastic. But that is it. That's Yusri, Fortune's Flame. And that is it for today. Thanks for tuning in.